So now I'm going to take this conversation in a completely different direction. What is it that Monty Python says? And now for something completely different. This is a news report that I came across today about the Asian Games, which are gearing up to happen in China.
It's a big day for Hangzhou Asian Games volunteers. Thursday's commencement ceremony was held at Zhejiang University. Thousands of volunteers took an oath to serve the Games. During the ceremony, the acting president of the Olympic Council of Asia, Raja Render Singh, sent a video expressing gratitude to all the volunteers. And the spotlight of the ceremony is, of course, on these volunteers behind me. And as you can see, today they are dressed in a very eye-catching blue and green uniform. There will be altogether 37,000 volunteers. They were chosen from over 300,000 applicants from across China. That means only 12% applicants become volunteers. Students say they cherish the opportunity to share the Olympic spirit and serve guests from around the world.
非常的激动，希望能够发挥我们的窗口作用，去向世界能够展示我们中国青年的一个形象。
I'm from Egypt. I'm an international student at Zhejiang University of Technology. Being able to serve in the Asian Games as a volunteer is actually an honorable thing for me. As far as I'm at service, okay, and helping everyone in need, then I'm satisfied.
As future friends unite!
These volunteers will begin taking up their roles in the upcoming days. They say they are ready to welcome guests from around the globe. Chen Yingling, CGTN, Hangzhou, Zhejiang Province.
So, I just saw that report. Now, what do we take from that report, right? Now, we take from it that the Asian Games are happening in China. Okay, the Asian Games are happening in China. We also take from that a number of people applied to be volunteers at the Asian Games, and that is a very high honor in China to be a volunteer at the Asian Games. And we take from that today they just had a ceremony to start the opening for those who've been selected to be volunteers at the Asian Games. Okay. But this is what I want you to take from this. Okay. I'm turning the sound off here. This is what I want you to take from this. What is that? What are they doing there? They're having a flag ceremony. Did you see that? They're having a flag ceremony. And now what are they doing, right? So first over here, they're having a flag ceremony. They got all these different flags and they're marching around with different flags. And now what are they doing? They're all standing there in their uniforms. And what are they doing? What is that crowd of kids doing? What are that crowd of young people doing? What are they standing there and doing? They are taking an oath, a pledge. They're taking a pledge. And then they have quite an elaborate ceremony, it looks like there. But yes, they started out with a flag ceremony, right? They got flags. They're waving the flags. They're marching with the flags. It's quite an elaborate flag ceremony, I must add. And now they're taking an oath. They're taking an oath, and they're all wearing uniforms. They're all wearing uniforms, even though the games haven't started yet. The games haven't started yet, and no one's there, but they're standing all there in their uniforms, and they're waving their flags around, and they're taking an oath, and wow. Wow. Does that remind you of a certain organization in the United States? Is there any organizations in the United States that come to mind when you see people taking an oath and having a flag ceremony? Is there anything that just pops into your mind at that moment? Are there any images that come into your mind when you hear about people taking an oath? Just think for a moment. Is there anything when you hear about a group of people that are having a conference or an event or a gaming event or something like that, and they all get together and they open with a flag ceremony and they all take an oath? What is that? What is that? What organization does does things like that? What organization does things like that? Well, in case you haven't thought of it already, in case it hasn't yet occurred to you, I will help jog your memory.
Thank you. And we start out our events at CPI with our Pledge of Unity, which you can find in your conference folders. The Pledge of Unity was adapted from the Pledge of the World Federation of Democratic Youth, an organization formed after World War II for international solidarity. So if you'd please stand and raise your right hand and repeat after me in the pledge. If this will open for me. We pledge that we shall remember this unity, forged at the end of the Second World War, not only today, not only this week, this year, but always. Until we have built the world we have dreamed of and fought for. We pledge ourselves to build the unity of the people of the world. All races, all colors, all nationalities, all beliefs. To eliminate all traces of fascism from the earth. To build a deep and sincere international friendship. Among the people of the world. To keep a just, lasting peace. To eliminate want, frustration, and enforced idleness. We have come to confirm the unity of all people. To salute our comrades who have died. And pledge our word that skillful hands, keen brains and bold enthusiasm, shall never more be wasted in war. Now let's please remain standing for the Internationale, followed by the Star-Spangled Banner.
Yes. Yes. Isn't it interesting that the Chinese communists who were organizing the Asian Games had a very similar idea to us? And our flag ceremony looked pretty tame compared to theirs. I'll be honest with you. At their flag ceremony, we only had two. Well, I guess five flags. Towards the end, but their flag ceremony. I mean, let's look how many flags they had. How many flags did the Chinese have at their ceremony? Right, for the Asian Games. How many flags did they have? Let's take a look. How many flags they had. Sorry, gotta pull up the. All right, all right. How many flags did they have? Right. How many flags did they have at their ceremony? Right. For the China Games, they had. I mean, that's at least five flags right there, and then there's like seven flags or six flags there. I mean, that's quite an elaborate show that they got going on there compared to our show. Compared to them, our show was quite tame. I mean, look at that. Look at all those flags, right? And they're waving them back and forth and marching onto the stage and unfurling them and they're all in a uniform, right? We didn't even have uniforms. All we had was the matching red berets, and that was just at that one conference. We haven't done matching red berets. Look at all of them. They're all wearing matching bluish green shirts, and they're standing there and taking their oath. And I mean, look at this. I mean, isn't it interesting that we had a similar idea? And look at that, right? We have never even thought about doing anything like that. I don't even know what that is, right? We haven't even thought about doing something like that, right? They got like cheerleaders and a marching band, or I don't know what that last bit was. I have honestly, that one perplexes me, and they got like people running and cheerleaders, and it's quite an elaborate thing. But isn't it interesting that the Chinese communists at their Asian Games, they had an opening ceremony with flags and an oath? Isn't it interesting? Well, I think it's interesting as well. But there's a point to this, right? There's a point, which is that ceremonies like this, rituals like this, have meaning. They have meaning. There's a reason that people do them. People do them because they create spiritual power. Let me repeat this. They have meaning because they create spiritual power. And I see the super chats that have come in. I'm seeing them as they come in. You got it. I saw there was a couple there. And I see that there's a Rumble rant about Nietzsche that came in from Jamie Turner about Nietzsche. I saw that as well. And nothing on the Rockfin, but these kind of rituals create spiritual power. And communism as a movement historically used to do these kind of rituals a lot. Now, communism historically has been associated with cold materialism, right? The rejection of all spiritual forces, the rejection of any form of idealism, any belief that thinking makes it so. But even then, that didn't stop the USSR Komsomols from wearing their red berets and marching and doing elaborate ceremonies. That didn't stop the Red Guards from doing all kinds of elaborate things. And regardless, what is the response every time we do one of our flag ceremonies? Whenever we have a CPI event, big conference, we always begin with a flag ceremony. And the response on social media, people lose their minds. It is like we are committing a crime against humanity. Oh my God, they can't be doing that. What? A flag ceremony? Oh my God, they're playing the Star Spangled Banner, all the International, and they got the flag of this and the flag. Oh my God, they can't be doing that. No, 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 no. It's like, I want to tie one of these people down. I want to kidnap one of these people and tie them down and make them watch the flag ceremony on loop. I want to get a bread tuber. I want to tie them to a chair, pry their eyes open, like in the movie Clockwork Orange. Just make them watch our ceremony on loop over and over again. And they'd be like, no, God. I'm just kidding. Of course, I have no desire to do any violence to anyone. But seriously, though, I really, I mean, it's hilarious. They watch this like, I mean, it was like, Newsweek did a story not about our conference, but about our fucking flag ceremony in Chicago, because they were just so triggered by it. Oh my God, they can't be doing this. This isn't allowed. They're not allowed to do that. And they waved the flag of China and the Donetsk People's Republic and a Z. And oh my God, this can't be happening. It is not allowed. It's an abomination. Oh my God. No, no, no flag ceremonies. No, no, no. Ah! And they don't like the oath either. They hate the oath. I don't know why they don't like the oath. You'd think the oath would make a little bit more sense, but no, they don't like the pledge, the CPI Pledge of Unity. Oh my God. They're all up there taking a pledge. It's a cult. It's cult brainwashing. Oh my God. It's evil. They're taking a pledge. They're promising that all the people of the world, of all races, all nationalities, and all beliefs will come together. They're calling to eliminate the all traces of fascism from the earth. Clearly, they're neo-Nazis, right? I mean, that must be why they're calling for all the people of all the world and all the races to come together to eliminate fascism. Clearly, that's a neo-Nazi ritual, right? That's what neo-Nazis do. They try to bring people of different races and ethnicities together to destroy fascism. That's basically Hitler right there. I mean, they lose their minds over this stuff. This stuff scares the living bejesus out of them, right? The socially isolated internet leftist, right? They see this stuff and it like they shit their pants. It's like, this is not allowed. It's bad. It's cringe. It's blah, 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 blah. They like lose their minds that we dare do any ritual. I think that's a very good sign. I think that is a very, very good sign. That's a great sign. That is the best confirmation that we've had, in the lead up to our event in New York City on July 10th. I was talking to people in CPI and said, should we do a flag ceremony on July 10th? I mean, it's not going to be a whole convention. It's just going to be our small New York City event. It's not like a full convention or something. And I think it was Lumpia Logic said, hell yeah, let's do the whole thing. Let's do the whole 9 yards. Flag ceremony. I said, okie dokie. All right. I guess we will. And we did. And it was awesome. It was great. It was a great way to open. We had a minister from the church who gave us the space. He did an opening prayer. We did the Pledge of Unity, and then we did the flag ceremony. And we had the unified Korea flag, along with the Chinese flag. And, okay. We did it, and people love that. People get into it. It really gives them something. It gives people something you wouldn't normally get. I was in communist groups for a long time, and I always wanted to do stuff like this. And people, especially the older boomer communists, were always put off by stuff like this. They'd always say, people don't like that. No, that'll scare young people away. No, I don't think so. No, I don't think that's the case. I think when people join something, they want to be part of something. They want to have ceremony. They want to have ritual. They want to have belief. They want to be part of something. They want an identity. I think when people join something, they want something. And especially if they're becoming communists in the United States of America. When a country where communism is no, communism is bad, communism is forbidden. It takes a level of strength and courage to become a communist in America. So when people do become communists in America, they're going to want to attach themselves to something that looks like it has strength, that looks like it has some oomph behind it. It looks like it has some, it's not ashamed of what it is. It's proud of what it is. People wanted to fit in and join the crowd, they'd be a Democrat or a Republican. But if you're being a communist in the United States of America, in order to feel safe doing that with the other communists, you need to see that the other communists mean business. You need to see the other communists are serious. They give a shit. They're in it. They're proud. They're doing rituals. They're marching. They need to see that. You need to look like you have strength.